There's tons of business coaches. How am I going to stand out? How do I set myself apart from the experts, from the people who have been there for years? Now, for the real tea, I'm going to give you guys 3 tips on how to stand out so that you're not questioning your ability, you're not questioning your expertise, you're not questioning if you're good enough, because you are. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley Goode. I'm a purpose coach and brand strategist. For those of you who are new, I help women package their purpose into a marketable and engaging brand on social media. And today we're kicking off a new episode of Branding with Purpose, where each and every Friday we get together and I give you guys tips on branding, marketing, and all that types of stuff when it comes to running a business online. So today's topic is going to be about how to stand out in your industry, because a lot of us are new to entrepreneurship, or we're new to an industry, and we find that a lot of the things that we want to do other people are doing, or we could be entering in a saturated industry. And the question that we might be asking ourselves is, how do I stand out when there's tons of people that are doing the same thing that I'm doing? That was definitely a question that came to my mind when I first entered the arena of marketing, because I'm like, there's tons of designers, there's tons of brand strategists, there's tons of business coaches. How am I going to stand out? How do I set myself apart from the experts, from the people who have been there for years or are doing exactly, if not similar to what I'm doing, so that way I can really start attracting the people that I want to serve? And so I've learned a couple things that I want to share with you guys. They may sound cliche, but it's true. The number one thing that will help you stand out is you. You being yourself is what sets you apart from everyone else. There's no other Ashley that can tell you X, Y, Z, that can teach you these things that can work with you. So just like you, whatever industry you're in, there's nobody like you. Now, for the real tea, I'm going to give you guys 3 tips on how to stand out so that you're not questioning your ability, you're not questioning your expertise, you're not questioning if you're good enough, because you are. So, the first tip is to be authentic. When I say that, I mean be yourself. Don't try to be like anyone else. Show your personality. People are connected to authenticity. They're connected to vulnerability. They're connected to seeing someone in their real, raw personality, because that's how you connect to someone. We see a lot of people on social media that are successful, and a lot of times we compare ourselves and we try to brand ourselves in a way that is similar to them, and you might find that not a lot of people are coming to you because you're being similar. So for me, for example, when I just came in the world, so when my first business I ever started was a fashion blog, right? And so this was like early 2010 when Tumblr was popping, fashion blogs were still popping. We were leaving the world of MySpace. Facebook was kind of coming along, but a lot of people were having like WordPress blogs. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but WordPress is a website platform where you can create websites. And a lot of fashion bloggers at the time were using that. So I had my own WordPress blog, and I was thoroughly like into fashion, looking at other bloggers, and I started to compare myself, and I'm like, okay, I want my blog to be like hers, I want to dress like her, I want my blog to sound like her. So I was comparing myself and formulating a brand that did not appeal to me or reflect my authenticity. It reflected everyone else around me that I was picking and choosing from. And what I realized is I didn't get a lot of I don't know if you would call it readership, but my audience didn't grow until I decided to be myself, because the more and more I tried to be like this girl and that girl, the more I lacked creativity, I lacked authenticity. I was starting to put out the same thing that they were putting out, but the minute I stayed in my own lane and focused on myself, I got really creative, and I was able to produce content, blogs, different outfits and stuff like that spoke to me personally, and people were authentic. I became authentic, I used my personality, I became myself, and then people became attracted to those blog posts. And so I saw my readership go up. People started subscribing to my email list. So it goes to show that in order to stand out in your industry, you have to be yourself. You may not see an instant growth in your audience, but the more and more you continue to show your personality, share your experiences and things like that, people will start coming to your platform, your brand, shopping with you, whatever service that you have to offer. Number 2, which is share your story. Share your story, because people want to hear it. A lot of times we think like, oh, well, it's me, nobody wants to listen to my story. How do I know? Because that was me. When it comes to like the world of just being a coach in the business realm, we hear these like rags to riches stories, or, you know, I was miserable in this area and now I finally grew up to this area. And a lot of times we feel like our stories aren't similar to that, they're not worth hearing. And that's what I thought about myself. I was like, okay, I really don't have a rags to riches story. I'm still in the midst of my success. I don't have a point where I was like, you know, I was making $0 and now I'm making X amount of dollars, so I don't feel like my story is worth being told. But I had to understand that I have a voice that's worth listening to. I had to understand that in order to sell something and help people, I have to be confident in my voice. I can't help you build your brand and speak confidently about yourself if I can't even speak confidently about myself. So the more and more I built, y'all, I'm talking so fast, I'm stumbling on my words. The more and more I built confidence in myself and my voice, I became comfortable enough to share my story. So as you share who you are, share your experiences as it connects to what you're offering. So for example, me, you know, I talk about all the time how I quit my job, you know, how I went from a place of living in California, trying to fulfill my dreams, to pivoting into another area of purpose. I use those things to create a personal connection with you all, so that way you can find similarities in me. Because a lot of times when we see people that are these experts, it can seem like, you know, they're on this high platform that you can't connect with them. And kind of when you start sharing your story, people can connect with you. People can connect with you. They will see the similarities in your experiences, and they'll be more drawn to listen to what you have to say and how you can help them. Number 3, which is share your why. Your why is why you started your business, what's the purpose of it, why are you going so hard to be so successful. So for example, my why is that I want to help women experience financial freedom and build wealth through creating a brand that specifically speaks to their purpose and the gifts inside of them. So that is my why. And the more that I share my story in connection to my why, it creates an authentic experience for people to listen to what I have to say. They feel connected. When was the last time, think about a person on social media or just in general, a brand that you feel connected to. Why do you feel connected to them? Is it because of their story? Is it because of their why? Are they, you know, a brand that gives back to the community? Are they a brand that shares the same values as you? When you're sharing your why, don't overthink it. Simply speak from the heart and people will feel connected to that. So just to recap, in order to stand out in your industry, remember, 1, be authentic. Show your personality, be yourself, don't try to be like anybody else. Number 2, share your story because people want to hear it. That's how they know who you are and feel connected and find similarities in their personality and their experiences as you. And number 3, share your why. People want to know the purpose of your business, why they should invest in you, and who they're investing in. So I hope that this was helpful. Go out there and start kicking ass and do what you need to do. Start building your content, sharing these things, so that way you can have people connected to you and they'll start listening. You'll see your audience skyrocket. It may take some time, but the more and more you work at it and the more consistent you'll become, you'll start to see people coming to you for the things that you're an expert in. So I hope this is helpful, and I'll see you guys next Friday on the next episode.